Is this you? No gun skill and always out of position?
One shot.
Hunting for the head.
By a girl?
Do you wish your gameplay looked more like this?
Hot fucking wipe.
Well boy, have we got the product for you. Introducing Smoke plus Thermal Vision, the new strategy for all the winning players. Your enemies can't hit what they can't see. With this strategy, you too can make it to... With the intro out of the way, I promise I'm not doing that voice for the rest of the video. As you can probably tell, we are discussing Smokes plus Thermal Vision today. The gameplay in the background that you're going to see is going to be a mixture of clips showing you how to use this stuff. A really good game I had against some of the top players. We unfortunately lost, but I was able to keep up with them, which was really cool in a lot of gunfights. And that's really what this video is about. I think smoke grenades and thermal vision in combination allow players at a lower skill level to easily challenge and take on players of a higher skill level. I think that probably means that it needs a bit of a nerf, but in the meantime, I think this is a really good strategy. I think if you are on light, and especially if you're playing terminal attack, but even in competitive and in quick cache, this works really well. I encourage you to give this strategy a try. We're going to start this video off going over some of the basics in the firing range. We've got some live commentary footage for you going over that. See you over there.
See if our attacking team can get that decryption key to a terminal.
Welcome to the training range, guys. Before we go over the gameplay and using smoke bombs in-game, I kind of wanted to talk about the basics with you real quick and just go over how you're going to be using these effectively. And a few different methods for you, as there are some kind of plays you can make with these that are standard. First things first, obviously smoke bombs are covered. It's important to note though, they're not 360-degree cover. This is not Call of Duty, so if you drop a smoke bomb at your feet, you can still be seen even at like 10 meters here. Now you're hard to see, but you're still definitely visible. So keep that in mind as you're using it. Smoke bombs are not completely making you invisible, especially if you're in the middle of them. Now the way we get around this is by being on one side of them. So if I drop the smoke bomb in front of the dummy a ways here and put him in the back of the smoke bomb, all of a sudden I can't see anything. Now smoke bombs move, so sometimes you'll get a glimpse of the player, but unless you walk right up to him, it is really hard to see anyone in this. And of course, as it goes away, you become more visible. This is why we want to think of smoke bombs less like 360-degree cover and more like a one-way mirror, where you need to be on one side of it and your opponent's on the other. Now that brings us to our first method for how we're going to use smoke bombs, and I'll grab a couple more here to show you this. This is with just 2 smoke bombs, and basically this is how you're going to see me use it 90% of the time in my gameplay, because I always like to keep a third one on me for creating a one-way, healing, or just panic situations. So the first thing we can do is drop a smoke bomb at our feet, and drop a smoke bomb in the direction of an enemy coming at us, and we want to underhand it. Now, we're ideally going to create this middle gap. Now, this middle gap that I created here is a little too large. You want to be mostly invisible in this. But the idea here is that we can move between these smoke bombs to create cover around our opponents. That way, if we engage them and they start shooting back, we can move to another part of our smoke bomb or cloud for cover. It's also nice to have this set up with 2 smoke bombs because we can move around the outer edge of the smoke bombs to keep our enemies constantly unaware of where we are. Now, this works really well in buildings, in tight hallways, and in places where enemies don't have the high ground on you. If an enemy does have the high ground on you, though, we're going to need to move to a 3 smoke bomb system. And for that, I always recommend setting them up in a triangle order. So we're going to throw one to our left, one to our right, one a little further out in front, and this just creates a massive smoke cloud. Now this is great for fighting players who have shotguns. This is really good for fighting multiple players because you can be moving around the very edge of it like this, shooting players on all sides, and if you have players surrounding you, you can sit in the middle and still be effective. You're really hard to see in this smoke cloud. It's basically the best thing to do if you have a lot of opponents on you at once. With that, those are the basic formations for setting up your smoke bomb. But what do you look like when you're doing this? One of the big things that you're going to have to learn when it comes to using smoke, if you want to use this effectively, is what you look like with thermal and what your enemies are going to look like as a result with thermal. So, oh, I need more smoke bombs. I glow. And I'm not pregnant, but I am glowing. Now, your gun model doesn't glow unless you're invisible, but if you're invisible, it does glow. And outside of that, if we have a smoke bomb up, instead of glowing, we're going to turn gray. Vision back. So with the smoke bomb, we're going to go from glowing to this kind of black-gray, like hard to see. And you can still kind of see your thumb, it's just very difficult. You can see your gun model pretty well. If we go invis, we are entirely invisible though. And this is a very important thing to note. Now you can see the smoke is going away because I'm glowing again. But that is the true counter to smoke thermal, is invisibility. You are not just kind of hard to see, you are completely impossible to see with thermal or the naked eye when you are in a smoke and invisible. Now, you can still see uninvisible enemies, and if you shoot and become uninvisible, they can see you. But if you're looking to dodge between smoke bombs and make things really difficult for your opponents, this is one of the best options. Now, I still stand that the dodge or dash maneuver is a little better just for general play, but if you're playing against other people using thermals, having invisibility on is a hard counter to anything they can do, and well, I'll show you a couple clips that happen here.
Challenges defenders to act fast.
Only 30 seconds remaining on the decryption. One of the defenders has eliminated.
I know a secret you don't know. I know the secret. You can't see through invis.
So that's what it looks like when you come up against a player and use invis against them while they're using smoke thermal. But what does it look like when it happens to you? I'm about to roll a clip here real quick, and it's going to show two lights pushing me. They do a great job of using invisibility to catch me off guard, and the one that kills me, I never even saw him on his way to me. Let's roll that clip real quick.
Thermal optics active.
Through smoke.
Kinda rough, right? Unfortunately, there's no real counter to someone who's invis in a smoke bomb, so for the time being, just gonna have to avoid that one. So that covers the basics and the intro to smoke bombs. I've got a bunch of clips I'm gonna play, and this video is gonna go for a little while longer, but I wanted to take one moment to just talk about some more advanced parts of using smoke bombs, some things that you may not pick up initially. First things first, you can increase the density of your smoke by stacking multiple smoke bombs on top of each other. And if we roll a quick clip here, you'll see I come up against this doorway, I throw two smoke bombs on it to increase how dense the smoke is, make it harder for them to see the doorway, and then I enter the door and throw a third smoke bomb back at the enemies to make it even harder for them to tell where to shoot. This allows me to get some shots in on them. They still hit me somehow, but it allows me to get some shots in on them. It allows my teammate to push in and create a huge distraction, and it allows this push to work really well for our team. In addition to that, it's important to think about where you're going to go with the smoke bombs. A lot of times you're setting up sort of like an environment that creates an advantageous gunfight for you. So if you are in a really big open building, you might just set up two smoke bombs on two sides of the room and allow yourself to dodge in between them to create constant cover if you're using dash. Or if you're using invis, you might create all three smoke bombs and create a literal line across the room and have and split the room into two different sides, with the smoke bomb being the divider that you can see through, allowing you to slide back and forth from one side to the other. Outside of that though, guys, with smoke bombs, it's really just about being creative and taking time to learn them. I do think that this particular strategy has some likelihood to get nerfed, just because it's a little bit unfair. And as a player who isn't very good, I played a lot of like the top 100 players throughout the day yesterday, and I was able to compete with them, which is not something that I would think I could say at like 2 weeks of gameplay since being off the game for a year. With that, the final strategy to note for smoke bombs and using them effectively is preemptively placing them in a location where you know the enemies are going to be. And you've seen me do this a few times in the clip so far. This is not easy to do because you need to both get lucky and have the enemy actually go that way, and you need to kind of have an idea of where they're going to spawn and the best path for you to set up a trap between where you are and where they spawn. So don't expect to be able to do that right away. Take some time to learn the maps, learn the game mode, and then once you get good with everything, you'll be able to pull off really good traps. Other than that though guys, I'm going to roll the rest of the clips. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you go out and give this a try. Just don't do it when you're against me because I will use invis on you. And if you have a moment, come stop by the stream. I'll see you there.
Teams are back for more.
Threat detected. Down there.
Wait.
Thermal vision active. Throwing smoke grenade.
Wait. One. Move.
Ready to detonate. Throwing smoke grenade. Going through. Encounter, we've got our first elimination.
The battle lines are drawn.
And may the best
Smoke
team
grenade.
to victory.
Smoke grenade out.
He's hacking. Tell me about it. It's definitely worth throwing some footage info out there about, hey,
Welcome to our
this is a
viewers.
really effective strategy. It works for everyone.
Scotty, what's the vibe today?
It's
Well-
intense as CNS has changed the game. We've got attackers versus defenders and no mid-round respawns.
Watch out, down there!
You let me kill him.